Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Penguin and welcome back to Farming Simulator 17 Garage Tour. Now today we're going to take a look at implements, and this includes plows, cultivators, sowing machines and weeders. And weeders are a new tool to the Farming Simulator series. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Right, here we are with all our implements. Now before we get into it, I'd just like to say implements could be absolutely anything. You could class anything as an implement that you attach to a tractor, but I think I put these and I categorise these as implements and the others go into their own category, so I just want to make that clear. So we're going to start off with plows, and as you can see this car park is full, not just with plows but with everything. It is absolutely full because I've unfolded everything just to show you the size of some of the equipment. You might have noticed that one there, we'll get around to that. So yeah, as I do with pretty much all of them, smallest to largest in each subcategory. So subcategory would be plows, other cultivator, sowers, and then whatever else there is. So here we are. This is the Salford plow. This is a new plow, and it's not a reversible plow. Some plows you can turn, like this one, I believe you can turn. If not that one, definitely this one. You can spin them so you can go up and down the field with. This one, it's set to one position. So I don't know what you do. Would you have to go down one side of the field then drive all the way up to come back down again? I don't know. I don't know how it works. But this is a... I'm not sure of the size. I'd say it's 2 meters. We'll just check in the shop. Yeah, 2 meters. This is a 2 meter plow. Salford. Not seen this brand before. Looks pretty nice. Here is the Kuhn Varimaster 153, another 2 meter plow. This one, I believe, you can reverse it. Yeah, you can. What am I thinking? This you can reverse it because that's why it's got these on the top, whereas this one it hasn't. There we go. Yep, 2 meter plow. I think it was in FS15. Pretty sure it was. It was the smallest plow you could get, apart from a mod plow. Yeah, pretty nice. Here is the Amazon. Not sure on the model number. The Kron 200, there we go. Another reversible plough, 3 meters, pretty nice. Here is the Lemken Titan 11. Now, this is where we get onto the big stuff. Another reversible plough. This thing is huge. I'm not sure the size. I'm not sure on plough sizes because they're not as big as they look. 4.9. Look, imagine that, and it only covers 4.9 meters, where it's probably like 12 meters long. It's surprising how little distance, or like how little width plows cover when they can be so long. It's just how they are and how they work. But yeah, pretty nice. And then this is just a beauty. The Salford, is that it? Model 8300, I think. Not a reversible plough because just the just sheer size of it. But what this plough is, it's a on top of the ground plough. So you don't, like on some ploughs, like with say the Kron, you'd drive with one side of the tractor in the rut, whereas this you keep all tractor tyres on the ground. So it just ploughs behind you. You don't have to go into the rut. That's how it works. This is huge. I'm not entirely sure on the size. 6.2 meter. Where it's amazing how long they have to be to even get a little bit of width. It's but it looks amazing. I can't wait to use this on some of the bigger maps. It'd actually be alright for this map. Anyway, starting with cultivators, here is the Verneland Qualidisc This, I believe, came into the gold edition for Farming Simulator 15. Pretty nice. I believe it's 3 meters. We'll just double check. Yep, 3 meters. Pretty cool. Here is the Kuhn Cultivator L300. Again, another 3 meter plow. Now the the difference with these is this is a is it harrow? I believe they cultivate deep. You see, these are a lot longer, whereas this is more of just a disc cultivator. These require more power to run, for the simple fact they go deeper in the ground, so you're pulling up more. Whereas this doesn't go as far into the ground. It's more like a subsoiler, but subsoilers are even deeper, and subsoil, you cannot get a wide subsoil. Like, I think the widest subsoil you get would be something like that, because they go into the ground quite a lot. So yeah, 3 meter, be nice for the tiny farm maps when they come out. Here is the Horsch Terreno 4FX 4 meter plow. You can fold this up. You actually buy it and it comes unfolded, but yeah, you can fold it up. You see here the 2 cylinders allow you to fold it up. The Horsch Terreno 5FM, a 5 meter plow. Now, this, I think this is like a reskin of the blue one in FS15. This just wasn't in FS15. This was, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was. So yeah, 5 meter plow. We're starting to get quite long here. So in real life, you know, obviously the width makes a difference, but the length of the plow. If it's longer, it does more to the soil and it works the soil more. If it's shorter, it doesn't do that much work to the soil. So you see, it's got like 3, 4, 5. No, it's got 4. Let's call it 4 rows of the harrows, and then it's got the discs at the back to like kind of make the soil really fine. Whereas here, you've only got 3 rows, so it does make a difference. Anyway, over to this now. When I was buying these, I saw this and I was like, why is this in the cultivators category? It is a cultivator, but see these pipes and tubes, it goes on the back of the slurry tanker. I'll show you. So the slurry tanker, it's just the same as this. It goes on the back of this, and it's just the same as that. Pretty much. I mean, what's the width? 6 meters, so it's just a little bit smaller. So I don't know why. You can use it as just a normal cultivator, but you can with the other one in the slurry tanker category as well. So I'm not quite sure why it's in here. You can customize this. You can customize the design. I don't really notice a difference. I probably should have bought 2 just to compare the difference. But yeah, this is the only one out of the whole of these that you can add some customization to. Anyway, over to the Vogel Newt. This was in FS15, and it is... This is 6 meters, this one. Because I used to use it along with the 6 meter seeder we had. I used to do cosplay courses, so the cosplay course could just go over the same one I cultivated with. So I didn't have to record 2. It was like a lazy option for me. But it's a nice little cultivator. Right, over to the Vadestad Carrier XL 825. So this is a 8.3 meter cultivator. It's very similar to the one in FS15. The one in FS15, it was built a bit differently to this, but I believe it's still called the Carrier. It might have been called something else, I'm not sure. And it was only an 8 meter cultivator, which is 8. Well, it says 825, but I think they've rounded it up to 8.3. Yeah, pretty nice cultivator. I mean, if it is it's based on the similar one to FS15. This was my favourite because you could use it in medium well, you could use it in any size farm. You could use small, medium, or large farms. It was one of those that just kind of, it fit into everything. Obviously, your really big farms, you'd want to look at something bigger, but this could do the job quite well. It's a disc cultivator. I don't know what this is on the front here. Like rotating thing on the front there. Obviously, you've got your discs and you've got your rollers at the back, kind of just to break the soil up right into like fine bits, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, nice cultivator there. Right, over to the Horsch Tiger 10LT. So this is a 10 meter chisel cultivator. I'm going to call it a chisel cultivator. Harrow. I think it's called a chisel. This takes a lot to power. Again, like I was saying earlier, with the we're going to call them chisels because I believe that's what they're called. With them going so deep in the ground, with it being so big, you need a really big tractor to pull it. Whereas this one here, we'll get onto in a moment, you can pull this with a less horsepower tractor, even though it's bigger than this one. But yeah, this was out of FS15. Pretty nice, really good for the big farms. Right, over to the Lemken Gigant 10. Now, it says 10, it's not 10 meter. In fact, it's 12 meter. I thought it was. It's 2 meters bigger than this. It's a disc cultivator, and it was out of FS15. I didn't use it that much. I never played on maps where I had to use this as much. But it's still a nice cultivator. I do like it. That's all I have to say about that, really. Right, so here we are with the biggest and probably the most impressive cultivator I have ever seen. This is the, I don't know, is it Ockerling? I'm not sure if that's a silent K. It could be Ockerling, I'm not sure. This is, how big is it? I believe it's 14.5 meters. Yeah, it's 14.5 meters. So it is 2.5 meters bigger than the Lemken down there. Absolutely huge. Will fit perfect on this map for cultivating the really large fields. It's amazing, and it folds up. Like, it doesn't look that big when it's folded up, but you unfold it and it's absolutely huge. Probably my most favourite. Never seen it before, never been in any other Farming Sim series, but yeah, I like it. Right, over to the sowers, seeders, sowers, what you're going to call them. This is the Verneland Accord DL. It's a 2 meter, 3 meter. I'm not quite sure. Let's have just a little check. It's 3 meters. This was part of the Gold Edition in FS15, coming with the Gold Edition, and it's the smallest sower Farming Simulator 17 has to offer. Pretty nice. Right. I believe this one's second because, as you can see, I've had to manually place some of these. Yeah, it's the second one. This is the Amazon ED3000C. I don't think you have to unfold this. I hope not. Nah. Another 3 meter seeder. This, in fact, is it's a beet and corn planter. I will just double check. Oh no, it does more than beets and corn now. I forgot. It does sunflowers, soybeans, corn, and beets. So it does 4 instead of 2. Not had this in the Farm Sim series before. Pretty nice. Do like the look of it. Will be useful for the small farms. I don't like the ones on the 3-point because you can't turn corners with them, like you can with the ones that like you drag them. You have to pick them up. But I never really play on small enough maps to use something like this. But it still is nice. Right, over to the Great Plains 3 3P106NT. Now, something about this is some of these seeds, in fact a lot of them, I'm just going to check the first two. Right, you can put fertiliser in this one. And you can put fertiliser in this one as well. So a lot of these seeders now have the option to put fertiliser in them as well, which is, I don't know how realistic that is. Is it realistic to fertilise while you're sowing? I've never seen a seeder do that. But it must be done, otherwise they wouldn't implement it. And it is useful for those that just want to, you know, plant the fields quick and not really fertilise. You can fertilise them at the same time, and then you're done. But I'm not sure. And these are animated. This, you start off with this in FS17, sorry. And these doors open, and one is for seed and one is for fertiliser. So yeah, and that is that a 3 metre or 4? It's a 3 metre. Right, here we have the Grimmy GL420. This is a potato planter, should I say. I believe this was in FS15. Pretty sure it was. Yep, nice little potato planter. Here we have the Vernaland Accord Optima V, and again it looks like a sugar beet, corn, soybean and sunflower planter. You can tell the difference because normal ones look like this with like the pipes there, or the seed feeders, let's call them. The rows are more tight together, whereas these, the rows are more spaced apart. I believe, and that is a 3 metre, I believe as well. Let's just check. No, it's 4.5, and yeah, it's and you can add fertiliser as well. Pretty cool. Right, over to the Vadestad Rapid A 600S. Now this is a 6 metre sower, and the reason I know that is because this was my most favourite sower of FS15, just because I used it a lot. It did the job on pretty much any map. It was pretty nice. I'm gonna have to keep checking, see if these allow fertiliser, because yeah, this one allows fertiliser too. In fact, right, there's only like 2 that don't allow fertiliser. So yeah, that's that. Here we have the Grimmy Compactor GL. Oh no, Grimmy GL 860 Compactor Grimmy Innovation. That must be like the new technology or something they use. This is a potato planter, yeah, and this one definitely has fertiliser because these are the fertiliser tanks. I'm going to try and get into potato, like the potato business in FS17 a bit more than I did in 15. I didn't really bother with it because it was kind of a pain. Like the seeders, they didn't fold up. You had 2. You had one like this, which was just too small, and you had this one, but you couldn't fold it up. This one does fold up, so it's easy to travel down the road with it, which is good. Here we have the Vadestad Tempo F8. This is another corn planter. What's the size of this one? I'm kind of interested. 6 metres. So the last 3 are 6 metres. Yeah. This wasn't in oh no, tell a lie. It was. I'm pretty sure it was part of a free DLC Giants made for FS15. So yeah, pretty nice. Right, over to this now. This is interesting. The Horsch Pronto 9DC. This is a 9 metre sower, and in FS15, this was from FS15, but in FS15 it had a. Oh no, it wasn't there. It was here. Was it? No, it was here. So instead of this, there was like a pin hitch, and there was this like giant. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was for seed or it was for fertilizer. But anyway, it was pretty useless. It didn't do anything. It was articulated. It was a pain. It was pain to reverse. I didn't like it, but I did use it because it was the biggest sower available. But they've done away with. I think it was like an air seeder. You see them like these air seeders, and they have this like giant tank at the front with a pipe on the side. And I think it's just like an extra seed carrier or something. Or that might be what carried the seed, and I don't think this like central bit here was there. Yeah, I think that's how it worked. Yeah, but I do like the look of this one. 9 metre, just pretty much the same as the one in FS15, apart from it doesn't have that big thing on the front, so I can see myself using this a lot more. Right, let's get over the dog barking then. Let's move on to our, yeah, this one. Our third to last cultivator, the Horst Maestro 12.75. It says 12.75, but it's only 9 metres. It's a corn, sunflower, sugar beet, and soybean planter. We did have this in FS15. Obviously, it was just for corn and sugar beet. Yeah, pretty nice. I did like to use this. Right, over to the Lemken Solitaire 12. This is a 12 metre sower for your standard crops, and it does look amazing. Now this, I believe, is the only one that doesn't, apart from one down there, that doesn't allow for fertiliser. So yeah, this is it's 12 metres. I'm pretty sure it's 12 metres. I will just double check in a moment. Never been in the Farming Simulator series before, so I'm looking forward to using this. Right, over to this one. Now, this has a special place in my heart. The Amazon Condor 1501. Yeah, this was in FS13. And I was so disappointed when they didn't bring it into FS15. I was gutted. Somebody made a mod, but it just didn't feel the same. And I'm so glad they've brought it back for FS17. It is just amazing. And I believe this is, I think it's a 15 metre sower. It'll be perfect for these large fields, and I can't wait to use it. This was my go-to sower in FS13. So I'm just going to double check those last two. Yeah, 12 and 15, yeah, I thought so. Brilliant. Right, that is not it. There is just two more to look at. Well, they're not sowers, they're weeders, and this is something I've never heard of before. I never even knew there was a such tool to use on a large scale operation, weeders. Now, they do what they say, you know, it does what it says on the tin. It's a weeder, and I believe it goes out and it just pulls weeds from the ground. Now, I've never seen one of these being worked in the UK. Like I said, I've never even heard of them being used on such a large scale. Like, you hear them like weeding as like in the garden, but not on a massive agricultural scale like this. This is, I believe it's 12 metres. Yeah. The second one's 12. Second one's 9. This one's 12. And yeah, it just pulls weeds from the ground. So you must like, obviously you have to do it. I think it says in the first growth stage. Weeders pull weeds out between small grown crops, improving the field state. It can only be used in the first growing stages of crops. So yeah, it's before they get high and you crush them. So yeah, maybe they are used and I've just never seen it. But I've never heard of it either. So that's that one, and then there's this one. This is a weeder. It's a 9 metre one, but this also has fertiliser input. I believe it's fertiliser. Yeah, it might be like fertiliser or weed killer or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think you put fertiliser in. So yeah, I will use these at some point, and I will test them out and see how they work. So you must get weeds growing between your crops, which is cool. So a bit like soil mod in FS15. So yeah, that is it for our category of implements. There is a lot here. There is a lot I have covered, and yeah. So let me know which one is your favourite out of each category. I'd say if I was going to pick one out of all of them, I'm not sure. I'd say that cultivator, that 14.5 metre cultivator down there, is just brilliant. Either that or the Condor, which they go perfectly together. Yeah, I can't wait to use some of these. And the plows are really important this time because it is an option, but if you want to play realistic, the game makes you plough every, is it 3 harvests or 5 harvests? I'm not quite sure. So it's something they do in real life. They'll spread manure or something and then they'll plough it in, and it helps keep the yield up with the nutrients in the ground. But yeah, that is it for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, favourite and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for some more Farming Simulator 17 Garage Tour. Ta-ra.